How to bring someone to book. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, or to bring someone to book. Welcome to day 1242 of What's She Up To Now. Documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business, lots and lots of years there, to the online business, getting to be quite a few years here as well. Frustrated a little bit today with Facebook. Facebook, it always makes changes. Social media changes all the time. And I'm not really frustrated because I know it changes all the time. But for the last 3 days, my page where I do this particular video, the Be Me to Thrive page, has switched to a new type of page. And it switches with my profile. So apparently people wanted to be able to switch profiles, be their page, and sometimes be themselves, but sometimes be their page. Well, I usually intermingle what I share on this particular page, this particular thing with my profile, and I'm having a hard time figuring out how to do that. So the last 3 days, I have not gotten that onto my profile or onto my stories as Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. And it's fine. It doesn't really matter. It just is one of those learning experiences as things change, as social media changes, that I figure out. Usually it takes me a couple of days to figure certain things out, especially when there's an overriding change to something on one of the main platforms. Sometimes I can figure it out right away. Other times I have to just keep moving forward, and I'm hanging out with my granddaughters right now, so I don't have a lot of time to devote to technical things. And it's not really very technical. I just at times am not particularly technical, and that's okay too. Some things I'm super duper technical with. I'm an engineer, for goodness sake, and other things that should just be as simple as unplugging and plugging something in, which, by the way, that's always the first thing to check. Hey, does it have power? Is it plugged in? Is the battery dead? Did I charge it? Did I remember to unplug it and just give it 30 seconds and plug it back in again? Do that with a lot of technological and electronic things, because sometimes they just need an internal reset. Just like us, sometimes we need to unplug. Which is interesting, because that is what our annual challenge was about today. Do one thing every day that centers you. Is the book that I'm following along with for this year's challenge. And today it was about, hey, you can fix almost anything, including yourself, by just unplugging for a few minutes, getting a change of scenery, getting a new cup of coffee, having a sip, taking a deep breath, walking outside, let the sun shine on your face, or the raindrops. Today we've got raindrops falling. Whatever works for you. But this idiom, this to bring someone to book, to hold them accountable and responsible for something, I feel like it's really missing in our society right now. It's kind of scary. Certain people are being held accountable for things that they've never done, and other people are doing things that they're not being held accountable for at all. So there's this strange craziness going on, at least here in the United States, that has people, I think, confused, and I think it's being done on purpose and manipulated to lose track and lose sight of doing the right thing. And that's why I think it's important that I'm doing the Do One Thing Every Day That Centers You challenge, because it keeps us, and we all need to personally be responsible and stay focused on what is true, what is right, what are our core values, and what's important for us. No matter if there's a few, and it is a very small percent of even the United States population that is being corrupt, power hungry, money grubbing, negative, fear mongering. It's a small percentage of the population, and if the rest of us remember that, we will all be fine. But to bring someone to book means to hold them accountable, to punish them for an offense, or to make them explain their behavior officially. Now, I think there are a whole lot of politicians, and I'm not talking about Donald Trump, who need to do some explaining. I keep thinking of Desi Arnaz saying to Lucille Ball, "Lucy, you got some explaining to do." I mean, it just keeps running through my head. And I think that our media in America, because there's no news sources anymore, our media in the world and in America needs to be held accountable for their liability in the damage that they're causing to our, especially America, and to the world. I think that their social media companies need to be held accountable. I think each and every one of us as individuals need to be held accountable and responsible for our behavior. Are you making the world a better place, or are you out for yourself and just out for number one and doing whatever it takes, scratching and clawing to get what you want? You know the answer to that. I don't know. I don't care the answer to that for us each individually. I only care about myself and, of course, my children and those I love and care about. making sure that we are living in alignment with who we really are, doing the right thing all the time, not just when it's convenient, doing the right thing all the time, even if nobody's watching, and not just doing the right thing when somebody's watching. There's a whole lot of posturing and nonsense going on in the world that is like, do the right thing, put on these badges to your profiles, show the world, wear a mask, all this craziness. Stop, unplug, take a deep breath, turn off any social media and media, and just breathe and think for yourself for a while, and ask yourself, when you're hearing things, when you're seeing things, when you're being presented with outrageous behavior that you think no one would ever buy, ask yourself, what's the reason I'm being shown this? Why am I seeing this? Why is this what's being presented? What's the intention behind it? Why would somebody present this news story instead of that? Why would they hide this instead of exposing that? And when you do that and you live in alignment with who you really are, your life will start to work. It'll or continue to work the way it always has, or continue to get better, because you're absolutely positively thinking for yourself. Obviously, I'm on a tangent today with the idiom, bring somebody to book, but I think it's because normally this would be totally, yep, this is the way the world works. Somebody does something and we explain it to other people. We explain why we do something. People can't read our minds. They don't understand our intentions. And if we don't tell them what our intention was and explain our behavior, then they make assumptions. I mean, look at the assumptions that have been made for the last, let's say, 20 years in this country alone as to people's motives. Guess what? The only person that knows the person's motives is the person. The only person that understands or knows my motives is me. And guess what? All I have to do is ask me why I did something, why I said something. And it doesn't mean my mind isn't going to change. Sometimes, and I guess if I were to go back and even just watch all the videos I've made in the last few years, I would have said and done things that I'm like, wow, I believed it at the time, but boy, have I changed my mind. I don't believe that anymore. And I think we're all like that. So I say unplug today. I say decide today, right here and now, and commit to yourself that you are going to choose to live your life and begin living your life right now, a little bit at a time, absolutely positively in alignment with who you are on the inside, who you really are and who you really want to be, and see how much better your life goes, and that all the nonsense, all the craziness around us just begins to slip away and not really matter, because we're focused on creating the life we want, doing the things that are right for us. Whether they're right for other people or not, it doesn't matter. It matters if it's right for you. All right, have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Hopefully, I will get back on my profile and stories for my Sharon Horne-Ellstrom profile page somehow. But if I don't, I'm still always going to show up here in the Be Me to Thrive page, sharing my journey, documenting my journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, be with you tomorrow.